talk about Halo. It means that we can finally get Momo in the back room so we can make his 4 clones of himself so we can actually make a Halo Infinite team. But either way, it seems like our series is underway, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to leave it with the bald man and the bearded man.
Here we go. I know,
isn't it?
yeah. Luke, you outdo yourself every time, man. It's honestly beautiful. Chef's kiss to you. We're finally jumping into it. A recharge. Strongholds, ladies and gentlemen. Pipz immediately ducking his way down to that camo. Does manage to grab it, but drops it immediately as he gets taken out there. Back and forth kills going on and on, but Divine Mind go 4 down off the break.
Yeah, it does look like that camouflage was burnt as well. Kitbash wasting no time capitalizing on those kills and grabbing themselves a B stronghold, which is the toughest one to kind of maintain and get away with cleanly. Lith here holding down gold. He does get taken out. Lolleey with that shock rifle, finding himself one. Hits the other, double kills there if he wants it, but Plasma taking him down.
Plasma executing well on that kill there, taking a lot of damage himself, but not cracking under the pressure. You have the members of Kitbash now spawning long haul / C flat, immediately taking advantage of the positioning that they have. Hem the bleeding a little bit as there was, just for a couple of seconds, a triple cap, putting Divine Mind a little bit more above the board than was originally intended for Kitbash.
Yeah, very comfortable position right now. Plasma playing very patiently. He's got that shock rifle.
Oh,
nice little perfect shot into the face of the player from Kitbash there, holding things down. Now Pipz going through, chilling out on pizza while his shields come back from that team nade that just popped out. But triple cap for Divine Mind. They were very confident team going through, and another no scope from Plasma going through, and just Divine Mind. They're just popping off.
Divine Mind doing lots of work right now, held on to that triple cap for an incredibly long time, given that we've just kick-started the game here. Kitbash have a lot of work to do in these early stages of the match in order to stem that bleeding a little bit. Lith and Rated coming 1-to-1. Looks like Lith managed to have a little bit of the advantage on the damage there, but Rated did have to back off, taking out, or helping take out a Dxvinity there in the gold pipes area. Pipz making a rotation on to battery platform to secure himself that shock rifle. So now it is in their favor. Divine Mind have the long-range angles that they can watch.
Yeah, Pipz under a lot of pressure here. He does get taken out. Heads up play, the good jump from Lith there to look over the box. Now on board with the green man himself, throwing some nades down into the red pipes area. That camo has just popped up, so it'll be interesting to see who managed to grab that one. It was Lolleey, but Rated with a very critical kill there to shut that one down.
Good burn from Lolleey there. You know, even though he wasn't able to use the camo, he was able to make sure that Divine Mind couldn't either. Just some unfortunate timing on that kill. But again, a team like Divine Mind is going to be on top of those kinds of spawns all the time. If they don't secure camo themselves, they're going to make sure that the other team is never able to put it to good use.
Yeah, and they'll prioritize it. Let's go camo player, take them down. And it's the same thing with an overshield. It's like they've just got overshield, beam them, beam them, beam them. So that's a real strength of Divine Mind, and it could be the power of BDiz, their coach, in their ears, making sure that they're focused on those things. But now with Swayz in his 4-4 right now, so the Star Slayer, you know, a bit of an even Steven start for him, and trying to find himself one. Just makes short work of Scoob there. Plenty of shields left over the challenge, another play, but he's locking down the A stronghold all on his lonesome.
Oh, Kitbash managing to get a couple of points here and there, a couple of kills here and there, but it's not really resulting in anything too massive for them, as once again Divine Mind secures that triple cap here on recharge. You know, the bleeding is they're just hemorrhaging right now. Kitbash is, yes, you can see that both Scoob and Lolleey are securing a whole bunch of kills, but then you have Plasma on the other side, 10 and 5, just popping off.
Yeah, he just dropped a triple kill. You could see it down in the kill feed. Scoob hiding down in the red pipes. Look at the collapse coming in, and Swayz just turns around and is like, "All right, boys, you got to collapse those guys." Yeah, no. And the double kill, remote detonation, a killing spree to boot. There's another play there as well. Lolleey able to stem the flames a little bit that was boiling up for Swayz there.
Lolleey rotates over to A, trying to secure the point, but gets his head taken off by Pipz. That shock rifle in hand. Plenty of maneuvering around the map for him as he secures another. Damage onto Scoob as well, and the collapse from Divine Mind looks to come in once again as Rated has that camo. It's going to be very easy for him to pick off whoever he wants. Rated playing a bit of a sneaky game here as he decides to double back, not eating as much damage, and that score is just ticking up more and more. A beautifully placed grenade for him. Going to chase down Dxvinity for the double. Scoobmeistr is there as well. Going to try and hide on the boxes as much as he can, but Scoob manages to secure that. Kitbash need to stem this bleeding. Only 10 points remain, and that time is ticking up for them. Only 5 now, as Lolleey makes himself over to B point. Dxvinity there with the backup. Lith picks up a double kill in the background, but it might be all too much for them as they get cleared off that point once again. A in the hands of Lith. The time is ticking away. 2 points still to Kitbash as they manage to secure a little bit more, but if they cannot get on this C point right now to stop this bleeding, these 5 points are going to disappear before their very eyes. The tick up is happening, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Divine Mind secure that map 1.
Yeah,
Blink of an eye, Justin.
That was a quick one, wasn't it? I mean, Divine Mind, they were just so comfortable. And something I really noticed, Bluey, was that they were giving respect to the Kitbash players. I didn't see them ego challenge anyone. There was an instance there in the red pipes, and Rated was having a little bit of a back and forth with Lith, a little bit of a one-on-one. He got a shot down and he backed off. He went, you know what, I don't need that kill. I'll wait for help to turn up. And that just proves that Divine Mind are here to win. They're giving them the respect and they're playing good Halo.
Yeah, Justin, kind of have to disagree with you there.
Really?
The headshot,
It's allowed.
The
It's
headshots
allowed.
that the members of DM were able to get with the shock rifle there, that was straight disrespectful. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Everything, they just collapsed. It felt like...
Very dirty. They're wearing their shoes inside.
It felt like Divine Mind just was able to get into a groove, and Kitbash just was struggling to pick themselves up time and time again. Yes, the break was fantastic for them, managing to sweep all 4 members of Divine Mind down, but once that was done, that was kind of it.
Yeah, I mean, some of these clips are just pretty nasty. Look at, I mean, the highlight reel was just all Divine Mind throughout. And there was a couple of moments there that Kitbash, but they get a couple of kills, but it was like they were kind of holding on, maybe getting a clean up here and there, and not really creating any opportunities from themselves. They just, you know, maybe trading out a one-shot player here and there.
Yeah, you know, you had Scoob and Lolleey, you know, getting themselves a good amount of kills, but just exactly as you said, Justin, they never translated to being able to take a foothold on the map. They never translated to just overall good positioning. It just seemed like spawn after spawn, they were on the back foot, and there was never really a recovery.
No, and this might be, you know, the beginnings of what I was talking about earlier. It's like you can spend as much time as you want preparing for a game. It's like, these are the things we want to do. But unless you get slays at the right time to, you know, capitalize on opportunities, it's just never going to happen for you. In Divine Mind, they never gave them that opportunity. They were just too strong.
It's all about forward momentum, especially in a Strongholds game type where you always have to be rotating, making sure that you're watching those spawners as much as possible. And the whole Divine Mind crew, I mean, this is what makes them so dangerous. They're all just hold forward players. When they all get in that swing, how do you stop that? It's the unstoppable force, right? There's not much you can really do unless you have the stronger gun. And the guys on Kitbash right now looking a little shaky.
A little shaky, and I mean, one thing that is really dangerous about Divine Mind is every single player on that roster can really pop off when they need to. I mean, Pipz is a really good example. He's one of those players that just fits a role that's needed for that particular game. If you need someone to do the dirty work, he's there. One of your main slayers kind of lagging a little bit, no worries. Give me the shock rifle and I'll show you how to use it. He can step up, and you know, that's the thing about Divine Minds is that you go play over an entire series. There's no expectation on one player to perform. They can all do it and rise to the occasion.
There were some glimmers of hope there for Kitbash, especially off the break of that map. That is not the kind of break that I would expect Divine Mind to sort of cave into. That being said, you know, you can only have those glimmers so many times before. It was really exciting though. Again, shout out to Scoob, KBM player, for him to be, you know, on top of the leaderboard, you know, sort of assisting the team as much as possible with those kills, you know, picking up a bunch where he could. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just the strong, focused teamwork that Divine Mind have. You can't just simply take that on as a solo player.
I mean, you're talking about Scoob and an I Spy with my little eye. That looked like a floral mouse mat. Man after my own heart. You gotta, you gotta be a peacock and fly around, man. You gotta puff the chest out, let everyone know. But what does look like we are launching in his next map, Bluey, what are you looking for on the Kitbash side of things for them to bounce back?
Well, the interesting thing about having a KBM player on your team is that you often pour the resource into him for them to grab the sniper. I would say sniper rifle, especially in Halo Infinite, is a lot more favored to a KBM player than it is a controller player. So hopefully right now we see Kitbash sort of resource pour right now, sort of feed Scoob, the sniper, as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, well, you certainly don't need to zoom in when you're mouse and key with a snipe. You can just point and click like you're doing some work in moving files around on your desktop. But now on board with Rated, being very patient here, kind of just taking in his surroundings, listening to the communication. But that OS is about to pop in. Kitbash, where are you? He just got that one for free. Rated, full, clean OS, and here comes the push. Kitbash, they're in trouble here, boy.
I loved just seeing Scoob peek out from dummy door there, immediately see Rated with OS and then just double back. No, I'm not taking that on. He had the backup from Dxvinity there, making great use of that heatwave damage on the overshield player, landing 2 shots there. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to kill Plasma there as he has the sniper rifle in hand, 3 bullets remaining. A player like Plasma, again, he's a force to be reckoned with, and he has a lot of tools in his back pocket right now.
He certainly does, and he's got so much ammo to play with as well. Misses the first one, but doesn't matter. Repositions, finds himself Scoob. The second kill's there if he wants it. Does he get it? No, he doesn't. But that aggression is coming in as well. A lot of Kitbash players looking very nervous, able to hold back a couple of players there, but the collapse comes in from Divine Mind, taking them out. And the scoreline, 7-11 right now. Kitbash are holding on, but it might just be the cleanup, you know, the weak players getting cleaned up with grenades, because Divine Mind, they are looking pretty strong.
Pipz right there. Looked like he was showing a bit of body disrespect to the old mate Scoobmeistr down top mid near the sniper. Fantastic. You love a bit of trash in game. 2 players struggling on either side of the team, though. You notice both Swayz, main star player for Divine Mind, 0-4 right now. Lith just managed to pick up his first kill. Lolleey sort of struggling a bit as well, you know, especially for how slow-paced this game is. Do you think both teams are sort of looking to just identify one strong player and feed them as many kills as possible?
Yeah, it's the same as before. Each one of these players can kind of pop off and switch around roles. So sometimes you're just like, hey, Rated, I'm going to let you be the star player this game. You seem to be going off, here's the snipe. But now, with Lolleey, he's got that heat wave. You can do so much damage with this weapon. You can get up close and personal and just melt players' shields. Already finding himself 1 second there if he wants it. Able to get a Plasma with the double kill. Kitbash starting to heat up a little bit. 1 kill game.
Good little room sweep there from Lolleey. I love that he managed to pick up both of those kills there, just showing how powerful the heat wave is in particular situations like that, and a nice little flank that he used it with as well. Really good rotations that we're starting to see from Kitbash. Lolleey once again in the backline, putting as much damage out as he possibly can as they're eking in that scoreline more and more. We are now tied up 18-18. 3 members of Divine Mind go down.
They do. Kitbash heating up a little bit. Now Lolleey, he's feeling hot with that sniper rifle. Hits the body shot. Another one's there. And look at the respect. He backs off, changes angles and Pipz. And he's got all the help that he needs. The Kitbash boys, they're starting to gel, Bluey.
They are starting to gel indeed. Slayer might very well be the map that gives them all the confidence that they need as Lolleey looks to peek over sandbags right now, looking to connect to the head. Doesn't quite connect that shot though as he spots out Rated bottom mid. Sticky's come out, hits the body shot. Definitely going to be communicated that one-shot player right there. You can see that the assist came out from Scoob to try and clean up that kill, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. Snipe now in the hands of Scoob.
Scoob with that mouse and keyboard and the snipe. I'll have to see if pops off. Dxvinity with the killing spree. That's what you need if you're on Kitbash. Pipz under a lot of pressure there. Does manage to grab himself 1. And here comes Plasma with that commando. Boom, boom. Lolleey, look out. And Lolleey, a little bit of a jilligle peek there, holding them and wisely backing down. He wasn't in a good position to be able to take that fight. But the Kitbash boys going shoulder to shoulder, working together. A couple of players deleted off the server with that heat wave in the hands of Rated.
Look how closely the team of Kitbash is playing right now. Definitely not, they're not splitting up at all. They're making sure to play as close together as possible, sort of forcing the members of Divine Mind off of that OS position right there. You can see it just as Rated zoomed in. It is still on top of that turbine. Has not been claimed yet. Might have been just then. Yes, Lith, the green man himself, has it. His bar flashing. The OS strong with him. He's going to push up this tower way, hoping to remove that player from Divine Mind. I believe it's Swayz who has dropped down to the back of tower. On mud too, as he's rotating his way past the plasma pistol now and moving out to green near B.
It's really unfortunate they didn't sniff out Swayz earlier there, because you can't leave one player alive in that situation, because they can come back and they flank and surprise you. So Lith, he wasn't quick enough on that collapse in my opinion. Now Plasma trying to make that flank there. Lovely shots from Lith there, just getting the trade because Pipz was there to clean up. Now he's got the heat wave, but look, the Kitbash boys doubling up, double kill for Pipz, flashing shields. Lolleey in a lot of trouble because here comes Rated with the flank. Pipz still going off with that heat wave. Body disrespect, unexpected item in bagging area.
Pipz staying alive there. Such a huge play from him, but unfortunately it isn't all wrapped up cleanly just yet. Look how close the score is, Justin. Even though Pipz made a play like that, it's still neck and neck, 34 and 34.
Yeah, Dxvinity and Scoob showing up for Kitbash right now. Dxvinity caught off guard a little bit, but able to trade that out. Killing spree for Pipz there. Now on board with Plasma sitting up tower too. Eyes over that sniper. Unfortunate Lith not able to escape there. Sniper and OS about to pop. I've got to say, this is absolutely the most critical set of power weapons about to pop up in this game.
Absolutely, especially with the time ticking up the way it is. Pipz managed to grab OS, slams it into his chest. There's going to be a push coming out right now as he can support Swayz as much as possible. The bait and switch can come through. He decides to double back through Rat Tunnel, grabbing that heat wave. A lot of tools in the hands of Divine Mind right now. And Kitbash are going to have to play this very smart if they want to come out on top. There is about half an OS to try and bleed out here, as well as every other tool in the back pocket of Divine Mind.
Yeah, and you see what Kitbash are doing. They're kind of peppering Pipz a little. They do one burst, and then they don't even hold the angle. They move on. But Pipz, he's just popping off. Scoob doing what he can. Double kill for Pipz. Even more body disrespect. I mean, Pipz is getting his squats in.
He sure is. I don't know about Pipz doing that, though, when the face of his teammate just got taken off so cleanly by Scoob, especially in a high-pressure situation. But Pipz is absolutely popping off right now. The heat wave has been his best friend all map. 3 kills to go. What a clean right there for Kitbash. For Divine Mind. As pretty much every member of Kitbash just goes down. Now Swayz has the sniper in hand. And Justin, I think it's going to be a nice little bow put on this match if Swayz can just absolutely rip and tear with this thing.
Divine Mind have really just taken off, haven't they? And now Swayz trying to connect with that no-scope. He doesn't manage to do it, but now working with Rated in the mud pillars moving through. Lolleey goes down. 2 more kills to go. Divine Mind probably going to wrap this one up soon. And here's Swayz pushing 2 plays. And he gets launched off the map. But here comes Pipz with more heatwave plays. And there they go. They secure it.
Clean as a whistle. Divine Mind at the very end for how neck and neck that series was for so long. All of a sudden, by the end of it, within 60 seconds, everything flipped. And I want to say a lot of that is attributed to those multiple plays that we saw Pipz land with the heat wave. How do you counter that in those situations? You are in CQC territory, and there's so much damage emanating from that thing, and Pipz just being so on point with every single one of his shots. What's the counter, Justin? What do you even do?
It's really tough because, I mean, Pipz was going in, and it seemed like he was getting more double kills than single kills that entire game with that heat wave. And you get a couple of picks, and all of a sudden, that opens up the map for your teammates to go in, scoop up the OS, scoop up the sniper, and next thing you know, you have all the goodies on your team. And around that 35-point mark where you had that OS and the sniper coming up, that's when the script was flipped, and they just took off.
I was a big fan of a lot of plays that Kitbash did manage to make against Divine Mind there, even in situations where their backs were up against the wall. They opted to try and hold tower for as long as possible, but unfortunately, there are just too many angles to try and hold, especially when you get the information that Swayz is sitting down back mud, sort of just looking at you with the snipe. You can't peek up high, and then you have Pipz as well following it up again with the heat wave. You know, you're just forced into a position where you have to make a break, you have to make a play, and unfortunately, the play that Kitbash had to make just by the very end was keep trying to send as many bodies, do enough damage as much as possible, but you have to try and dance around the pillars there as well. It's just too much damage, and you can only be so spongy.
Yeah, and listen, Kitbash mental. They must be suffering a little bit because they were doing really well. They were keeping things close, and then Divine Mind, they hit the double NOS buttons and just took off and dominated that game. And I mean, Pipz was styling on them. They're down 0-2. What has Kitbash got to do?
It's the mental game as well. Like, how many body smacks did we see Pipz lay down? Especially, they were well earned. I'm not saying they weren't.
They're just the ones we saw on broadcast.
Yeah, exactly. Double kill after double kill that he was landing. So many follow-up kills as well. You know, 23, 13, 6.8k damage. That's that heat wave coming through for sure.
Certainly, and he wasn't messing with it either.
No.
He wasn't whiffing anything. He was just lining up that vertical hit and then boom, 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 just taking him out, falling like dominoes. But I mean, do you expect anything less from a player like Pipz on Divine Mind?
No, especially, you know, he's had his time to warm up now. He's He's had his stage. He sort of felt the presence that is here in this arena now, and he's just going to go off. You can see it. We're looking at him right now. He feels the confidence. He knows he's a star player. He's about to perform bigger and better than he ever has before.
He is a shining star in the dark, starry night, that's for sure. And performing for his squad. And you know what? That's what I was saying before, is filling that role for the team. They're even Steven a little bit, and it's like, okay, I need someone to step up, make some amazing plays, and he just did it.
Yep, I'm not going to count the members of Kitbash out yet, though. We've seen them backs up against the wall, face team immunity in the past, and come out strong. You know, there is potential in this team just yet. And, you know, they're not down and out as well. They lose this, it isn't the end for them. They still have another day of play after today as well, on top of the extra game that they'll still have. So, you know, do you think now is the time to try and just pull everything out as much as possible? You can see on screen right now, look at the look in Lith's eyes as he's sort of just giving them back and forth. He knows that there needs to be a change made to this team. He knows that they can make better rotations, they can make better plays, they have it in them.
Yeah, it does not look like a defeated player.
No.
You see it all the time when you're in a LAN environment like this, a team that's kind of a bit deflated, you know, they're a bit flat and all that kind of stuff. But no, there's still fire in those eyes in the green man himself, and you won't like him when he's angry. Even
before, you know, we started this game and the boys started to set up, Lith came past us down here in the pit. And I just said, you feeling confident, man? You think you got this? And he's like, look, man, I'm ready for it. Whatever it is, I want to play. I'm here to play. That's it. And I think it's that kind of passion, that kind of mentality that's going to separate, you know, the men from the boys. Because here, even if you take a loss, you still have so much to learn. And knowing that Kitbash are so studied, they're going to go back, they're going to watch VODs, they're going to learn from their mistakes here today. Yeah, and a point you brought up earlier, this Arvo, Bluey, was the fact that when Kitbash took down immunity, they got outslayed heavily. Yes.
So despite that, they were able to close out those objective games, and they've got to find that secret sauce that they made happen in that immunity series and bring it to Divine Mind.
We are now jumping into Streets, King of the Hill, probably one of the most frantic game types that we have here in Halo Infinite. So let's see if the boys on Kitbash can sort of take advantage of a bit of that chaos right now. A chaotic team themselves, a good mix and mash. Let's see if they can mash Divine Mind.
Ooh, they certainly will. Dxvinity with that red gun, he can certainly do a lot of damage with this. And I like his patience moving through, giving Divine Mind a lot of respect. I mean, there's a lot of sneaky players on Divine Mind. Lovely rocket from the green man there. Grabs himself the Bulldog as that noob tube has run out, rotating through. Manages to catch Swayz unaware, taking him out now, jumping up into the tires. Plenty of tread in there for him to work with. Now moving through, and he slides past the corner. Will Raider be able to do it? No, the Lith turning up for his squad, but he gets shut down. The call out comes in.
Good damage exchange from Lith there. Fantastic that he managed to take out a kill before he traded his own life. I love how Dxvinity's trying to play for his life as much as possible as well. In a bit of a precarious position right now. He only has the thruster and the red gun to save his life, but there's so much damage ringing out from the members of Divine Mind right now. He just couldn't save himself in time.
No, but they're certainly trying their absolute darndest to value their lives, put in damage for their squad. So Kitbash, they're down in the series, but they're not out. They're locked in still.
Locked in indeed. Definitely like how a little bit more controlled Kitbash seems to be playing. In this particular instance, Divine Mind has now sort of crept up on that score for the first hill here, about half and half for both teams. What Kitbash needs to do right now is maybe focus a little bit more on slaying, sort of get them enough space right now to be able to take that hill convincingly. Good stuff from them. 2 members down for Divine Mind, both Swayz and Pipz, so the big
Lith looking like he wants to grab it, but he's quickly backed off by his Plasma there. And Divine Mind, they're just so on top of all the weapons, aren't they? Plasma getting shut down by Dxvinity there. Pipz doing what he can on the B stairs. He gets taken out. Kitbash working well together, and they secure themselves a hill.
Kitbash on the first hill. Good stuff from them. How long they managed to fend off any threat from Divine Mind is incredible, even though through that trade, Divine Mind did manage to get themselves the rockets. They are burned now, though. Swayz gets rid of them, dumps them on the ground. Still a lot of room to make up here for these teams. Divine Mind are definitely not down and out yet.
No, absolutely not. But if anyone's going to shut them down, it's Swayz moving through. then they're racking up the scoreline on that C hill there and finding Lolleey in the red room. He backs off and it's like, that's Swayz with the commando. I'll take another angle, thank you very much. And just look at this, Divine Mind really just locking this down.
Divine Mind right now just have every position on lock, have every angle on lock. They're even losing a player, but they're not losing ground. Dxvinity does manage to take out another Plasma with the perfect. That red gun coming in handy, a double kill for him as well. As he looks to take the challenge, spike grenades go out. Maybe some damage onto Lolleey. He's got one more to take on. He does trade the melee kill. 2 for 2 right now. But the scoreline looks like more so in the favor of Divine Mind, as this hill has ticked up far and wide in their favor.
Yeah, and Swayz, he looks very composed in that face cam. He doesn't look panicked at all. Pulls out the AR, only gets a trade in that situation. Dxvinity doing very well. Here comes the Kitbash push, but Raider doing what he can to hold them back. Being very patient, Plasma working with him, copping a lot of grenades there, but still alive. Raider doing so well, valuing his life there.
So much damage in that hall push down that little driveway push there. 2 members of Divine Mind go down. Pipz pushes in as well, gets himself taken out, trades back and forth, but the Kitbash, come out on top, trading out one less player as Dxvinity just looks to play for as much hill time as possible. Bulldog in hand, making sure he can fend off any of those close range threats. Rockets are up though and have now come into Divine Mind, so that is a game changer.
Certainly is. Dxvinity doing so well here. He's not giving up his life, but here comes Raided. He got a 2 for 1 rocket, and here he is pushing through, ready to break that setup. And Kitbash, a little bit of trouble here because it looks like Divine Mind is starting to wake up.
The setup is broken. Divine Mind comes flooding in. Only a few valuable seconds left on this hill before it goes to them. It is now 1-1 on this King of the Hill match. We do see Pipz and Swayz now rotating up Pink Street, dislodging Lolleey out of Cafe. As we do see the members of Kitbash fortunately spawn on the next hill down in PD.
They do, and we talk all the time about Divine Mind utilising every weapon on the map. I mean, in the space of 5 seconds, Swayz grabbed the AR and it's like, oh, nah, Bulldog's a little bit better. He slaps that on his back instead, and they just make sure that they're utilising every advantage that they possibly can. But crispy shots from the BR, the old trusty 3 burst, and then moving through. Here comes Swayz, and he's got that up close and personal gun. And look at that thrust. Very cheeky there to get a trade there. Well done.
Good trade. It keeps the members of Divine Mind off of the hill for just a little bit longer, as Kitbash has managed through all of this chaos to secure themselves a bunch of time on this particular hill. So Divine Mind are going to have to hold out, play a little bit of castle defense right now, as the members of Kitbash are just going to keep flooding in as the damage rings out. But Scoob getting himself team shot there, instantly deleted. 2 members of Divine Mind located up near tires and planners. I believe Raided just quickly taking a peek. Pipz is there to back him up, and the red gun comes in play from Cafe side.
There's a lot of Kitbash players heating up. Lith going 11-6 right now, and they're very, very close to securing a second stronghold. This is a completely different Kitbash. They're really waking up, working well together, very well in that set of rockets. That's going to be critical for them. Looks like it's in the hands of Swayz.
Swayz now has rockets, instantly deletes Lith, takes him out of the map, says, see you later, buddy. The members of Kitbash now spawning over in Tram, and they are just a fraction of securing another hill here on this KotH Streets map. Unfortunately, Divine Mind still have one more rocket to play with, and that is so much space, so much time for them to be able to use to take this hill.
Yeah, that looks like they're taking their time. They've got time for one last push, but that rocket can quickly shut it down. Double kill for Swayz, triple there if he wants that. Triple kill, Scoob last alive. Will no kill happen? And a clip. Oh, baby, Swayz is heating up. 1 rocket and an overkill.
If it's anyone to do that to the members of Kitbash, it is going to be Swayz. That is an absolute confidence and ego booster for him. I mean, did he even really need the rocket, Justin? We've seen Swayz just use his BR before. I think it was just a bit of a cushion there for that over.
Yeah, he certainly made it happen, didn't he, Bluey? But that sliver of time that Kitbash needed, that's got to be deflating for them. They were so close to being up in this King of the Hill game, but still not out just yet. Double kill for a Dxvinity, triples there if he wants it. And look at him, he's trying to get some multis for himself.
Div making a fantastic push there, secures himself the Bulldog as a little extra reward. Members of Divine Mind now over, spawning in Arcade, but it looks like Kitbash is all over it, just playing that A side as Lith pushes into ties, just trying to make as much space as possible. Plasma with those spikes, just lobbing them into the hill, trying to get damage, but it's too much when Dxvinity is facing you with the Bulldog.
Yeah, and Dxvinity just locking down this as well. It's really hard to push Neon Street like that when you have that Bulldog. Rated somehow makes it work, though. With a couple of seconds, that last Rockets is going to pop up as well. Here comes Rated putting some shots and some pressure down. Plenty of shields to work with. He's just being such a nuisance right now. Wingman medal, and it just shows how well he's working with his teammates. Lolleey comes in with the Rockets to finally shut Rated down.
Trades back and forth, back and forth. Divine Mind now down 3. A little bit longer for Kitbash to be able to secure this hill, but a Rocket gets rid of Scoob off of it. Again, we are in the situation where Kitbash just needs a fraction of a second on that point to secure it for themselves and go up once more over Divine Mind.
Yeah, Rated has something to say about that last sliver that Kitbash needs, and that's quickly racking up. They haven't got a lot of time to go, Kitbash. They need to get into that hill if they want to stop it.
There we
Scoob
go.
comes in. The MKM mouse and keyboard player coming in.
Yeah.
And they put another one onto the board. Kitbash going 3-1.
3-1 right now in this King of the Hill match as the boys on Kitbash, the underdogs, the wild cards of this series, are going toe-to-toe with Divine Minds. They have some monsters to shut down, though. Look at Swayz on the scoreboard. 22 and 12. Swayz, I'm imagining right now, is absolutely loving it, even if he feels a bit down and out. Just gives him more time to play in this game.
Yeah, listen, I tell you what, Blue, I'd rather be up 3-1 in Strongholds than be dropping 20 bombs. It's all about that OBJ, baby, and it looks like Kitbash is all about it.
There we go. The boys on Kitbash, there's a mesh right now between them. There's a gel. You can feel it. They're working so well. You can see the rotations coming out before. Scoob with the Pulse Carbine just melts the shields off of Plasma right then. He's immediately got the team shot follow-up for him. They are taking as much hill time as possible. This bottom mid is a very tough situation as the last hill. This is going to be the last one that they need to secure in order to take this game.
And I like this play from Scoob as well. He gets pressured and he goes, you know what? I don't need to stay here. It's better for me to stay alive, backs up, and now he's back in the hill as the help comes in from his teammates, and Kitbash poised to potentially take out this game, Blue. They're really starting to turn up.
Scoob has been milking his life for as long as possible, even just putting out enough mosquito sort of tickle damage as he can. Grabs the rocks, unfortunately doesn't get to use them as they are now dropped on the right side of hill that you can view. Swayz goes in for them right now. He is one shot, can get picked, manages to trade out with Lith. 3 members of Divine Mind down.
Yeah, Dxvinity doing everything he could, but Rated shutting him down there. This is the toughest hill in this map. It's right there, down in the middle of the map. Just so much heat comes your way, and then players dropping left and right. And here comes Plasma working with his teammate there, the back off Dxvinity going in. And it's anyone's game at this point, Blue. Kitbash, they're finding that fire. They're gelling, they're moving well together as a team.
They definitely have something in them right now. And I've got to wonder, is it the communication? So many times we've seen members of Divine Mind one-shot, and there's an instant turn from any member of Kitbash looking to seek them out as much as possible. Just like that, Lith immediately goes tire side, looks down, the call would have been made, and the follow-up is so clean, so crisp that there's no time to react to that. We see Rated in the hill right now, ticking up that time, just milking it a little bit as one member of Divine Mind is down, putting them one out. Rated gets his head taken off right there. Bit of a double team for the members of Kitbash. The Dxvinity is once again on this Bulldog. 1-2 takes out Plasma, and good damage on Swayz to follow up from the members of Kitbash. Once again, we see Scoob in that hill getting just valuable seconds. It's all that's needed. Lolleey with the follow-up in back tram as well.
Lolleey's heating up, isn't he, Scoob, with that Bulldog just there, and that hill. It's so close to being capped. Divine Mind only a little bit to go. Kitbash and on the precipice of taking out this game. Here comes Lolleey with the Bulldog, and that thing bites off the leash.
Picking his targets so decisively there, managing to just transition to another, realizing that the other one is just going to sneak through the ATM's ball spawn point. Not going to be able to get that damage off. Dxvinity right now pushing Cafe. The nade, so strong. Such a good pick from him as both teammates are one now. Good 4-shot from Div, picking himself up a double kill, putting a bit of a break on there, and we can see the time ticking up for Kitbash. They get it! That's 4 hills! The boys of Kitbash have secured themselves a map from Divine Mind.
3-0 what? Kitbash showing up, the underdogs, proving that they can hang with the big boys. Unbelievable stuff. And they look so good together, didn't they?
The boys of Kitbash have certainly got to be feeling that right now. And hey, for you ladies and gentlemen in the audience, or maybe watching at home, you're like, it's just a map. It's just King of the Hill on Streets. This is a map against the #1 rated team for Halo in Australia we have right now against Kitbash, this team that people sort of looked at develop and go, you know, they're not really going to be able to do much. But look at how well they're performing. And it's that, once again, like I was talking about, that macro game, just that fundamental understanding of how to rotate the objectives so well. Yes, it didn't prove well for them in that in the Recharge Strongholds that we saw in their first game, but now it's just clicked. It seems to have just clicked.
Scoob there with over 2 minutes of hill time. Really just getting himself in there. The mouse and keyboard is something that's not talked about a lot with King of the Hill.
60% accuracy from Scoob or KVM.
I mean, Swayz with that overkill, that was pretty naughty.
Disgusting.
But I mean, clips don't win yourself maps, right? You've got to get in there and get the hill time. And with mouse and keyboard, you can just flick and change angles. You can 180 on a dime, and perhaps that's why Scoobmeistr took it upon himself to jump into those hills as much as possible. He can just check angles.
It's that thing that we were talking about with how they previously played against Immunity, and Immunity had outslayed them through and through. The stats spoke. They were through the roof for Team Immunity, but Kitbash still came through and were just taking these maps and then eventually the game. There's just something that they don't need kills to boost their confidence. It's just about getting footing on the map, these holes, these points here and there that matter more so towards them.
Yeah, Kitbash showing up. And this is the reason why they were wild card as part of a lot of the predictions, because a lot of people not expecting them to, you know, place in the top 4, but they could surprise people. And you know what? Showing up.
There it is, the overkill from Swayz. Once again, a little rewind replay. Beautiful stuff from him. You know, I think this is the second overkill that we've seen today, right? And it's just these star players that are always showing up and showing out with them as well. So flashy from him, and it would have been the call from the team. Imagine the comms in the background, like just shouting he's 1-1 over and over again, and just the confidence that gives you with the overkill.
Yeah, I mean, Swayz just going up with a clean-up crew, grabbing himself an overkill. It was beautiful. You know what, Blue? Didn't put a map on the board. It was Kitbash.
No. That's very, very true.
And they took it convincingly
that
as well.
Is
4-1.
very, very true.
It didn't go down to the wire. Kitbash took that convincingly.
An overkill does not win you games. It may be flashy for the montage though, but it's not a map. So now we're heading into Capture the Flag on Aquarius, and this is a map just from the onset that I'm looking at, and I think this is going to be very tough for Kitbash. CTF Aquarius is just one of those maps and game types where if you can't get a foothold quick enough, the game's over. You're being back-capped constantly, one after another, because the other team just has so much pressure on you and your spawns because they're very readable. On Aquarius, you can never just get out of that trap that you're set in, and then flags are just flying past your face and there's nothing you can do about it.
And it's one of the more traditional kind of CTF maps in Halo Infinite, and that really plays into the hands of the Divine Mind guys. But it always seems like Pipz goes off on this map.
Yes.
He gets the heat wave and he just does damage, and it's from day dot. I remember even the first set of series that we cast, it was all Pipz with that heat wave.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we even saw it before in the live fire game. Pipz just seemed to favor that heat wave. It was his best buddy in those particular instances. He just doesn't seem to miss with the thing, and it does so much damage, especially in such a close range map like Aquarius. If you're going to let Pipz run around and do exactly what he did on live fire as he does now, these boys on Kitbash are going to be in for a lot of trouble. So hopefully this is something that they've communicated as we now go into our 4th map for the series.
Yeah, 4th map for the series, and Plasma there finding himself one. Scoob going down. That camo still up top, ready for up for grabs. Moving through the players here. Caster's Curse, lots of players going down as we flick around the different players. Still with Plasma here. He's got that commando moving through, throwing out the shocks. Is caught unaware by Lith there, taken out.
Lithy with the sidekick there. He does not care. He's about it, securing himself a nice kill right in the moment. See, now this is what Kitbash need to do. They're putting kills up on the board. They're securing themselves time. Only 1 kill to Divine Mind's name. Overall, their whole board, they just need to start getting that footing from those kills. They need to start just moving up the map, taking those positions as much as possible.
Yeah, you've got to be patient sometimes with these games. You've got to get your frags before you can get flags moving. Here comes Raider to apply that pressure, and it does look like Kitbash with the flag moving. Dxvinity there, juggling that across the map, and Kitbash wasting no time, but Swayz with the double kill has something about this flag run. Another triple kill on the flag for the return. He's beckoning someone to challenge him for the over.
Swayz with a clean triple kill right there, going to be putting a lot of intimidation onto the boys of Kitbash, as it seems now one after another we are seeing their names fall. So much positioning on the map right now being taken from Divine Mind as Plasma decides to challenge Scoob with that commando. He's feeling confident in his aim, but Scoob's got something else to say about it. Unfortunately, the assist comes in from Pipz. Plasma goes down as two members of Kitbash have something to say. They return the favor. Right now, you know, we've seen one flag grab, one flag pull, but it hasn't really resulted in much. That being said, I can see it on the scoreboard right now. Swayz, 6-2. If they don't start shutting this man down consistently soon, he's going to have a lot of toys to play with.
Yeah, now Lolleey with that camo. This could be key for them to get a flag moving across the map. He does find himself, Pipz there, being very patient, stalking him like a shark in the water, and here he is pouncing on him, and Pipz doing what he can, but it doesn't matter. Clean shots from Lolleey, and just so composed there. Lolleey was very confident that he was going to be able to secure that, and just touches the flag for just a little second there.
Lolleey playing the patient game here, just tried to bait out as much as possible. As he had that camo as well, does manage to trade one kill. He was the last one alive in that situation, so there wasn't a lot that the other members of Kitbash could do in that scenario. 1-for-1 right now for both teams, 3 members up on both sides. We're not seeing a lot of aggressive pushes right now, but this is where it might change as Pipz rolls through with another member of Divine Mind, making quick work of Lith in that particular situation. Lolleey gets taken down as well, but Dxvinity has something to say for it in revenge for his teammates, as Scoob was unfortunately the first one to come up there. Has a lot of damage to do on his own. Doesn't quite land a nade. Lith there to back him up to follow the kill. Man, oh man, how many fights have we seen go down in this blue util side already?
They've just been going out for a solid 3 minutes here, Bluey. Not a lot of flags moving around. It seems the flag gets moving, and all they want to do is smash on each other now. With Pipz from Divine Mind moving through, we highlighted him loading into the map as a key player on this particular map for Divine Mind. With Plasma using that commando, utilizing weapons on the map as always, just like the Divine Mind players do, and picking up an assist there, working well with his teammates so far.
Lolleey on 10 kills right now, going blow for blow with Swayz. There's a lot of confidence coming out of this man, and I'm sure there was a lot of confidence just after that last game win. Has the heat wave in hand now as he tries to rotate down bottom near the heat wave spawn, come up through the stairs, doesn't dodge that damage, unfortunately, as Swayz take him out and exchanges that heat wave. It is now in the hands of Swayz, and he's waiting on the camo as well. This is a dangerous combo right now as Lith is about to have a small taste of it, and he does pop that camo as well. Swayz is about to go on a rampage. I
was watching Lith jump up there, Bluey, and I was like, you're too late. He's already going to get it with the heat wave. And he just gets taken out. But Kitbash making sure they're on top of those power-ups. So they're now killing spree for him. Swayz is really starting to heat up, Bluey. 13-6 for him. Still with some camo. Still with the heat waves. Finds himself 1 seconds there if he wants it. And teamwork is too strong for Divine Mind, not giving him that double kill.
So much damage. It doesn't even really need it. It's just about the team shots right now. Landing as many kills as possible. Good damage being exchanged right now. 2 members of Divine Mind go down. Their push is at a little bit of a standstill, but Plasma does manage to grab the flag here. Shut down by Lolleey near immediately. Pipz follows up as well. So many members going down, and once again we see ourselves in this blue util side. Just name after name going down, and Dxvinity finally making a little bit of a break for himself here as he pushes down bottom carbine, passing that needler. Spots up, can hear 2 members of Divine Mind in their base as that call would have come out, and they do manage to touch their flag. Kitbash manages to touch the flag of Divine Mind.
Yeah, Pipz lurking around that corner there. Dxvinity going in. He does get the cleanup, and the flag's moving for the Kitbash players. He does go down, but I think there's still a player to get that flag moving. Swayz now moving through. He's responding to that call out. Plasma calling it early, but puts through the trade. That flag does get returned. Scoobmeistr backed off there. Swayz moving around the map. He's currently 15-8, top fragging for his squad.
Flag return on the side of Divine Mind means all that space, all that pressure that they made before just goes by the wayside. Swayz picks himself up a nice little reverse 4 on the back end, going head-to-head with Lith right now. But Lith, once again, shuts him down with the sidekick.
Yeah, listen, those pistols can be pretty lethal, mate. Now, Lith, he's got that backwards hat on. He's locked in, going in with a sidekick. He's taken down in util. Plasma goes down as well. Scoob, the last one alive in that util area. Lolleey locked in, and he has some help from his teammate as well. That's what you want, that team BR shot. That's how you shut them down. Lolleey scooping up that camo, trying to get away. He's scuttling away with his life. He might just do it, Bluey. This is critical for Kitbash.
This has not been a very objective-focused game mode, ladies and gentlemen. So many kills going back and forth. Not too many flag pulls, though, unfortunately. You can see Lolleey just trying to provide some backup here as he's sitting on top of Divine Mind's base, getting the damage down on Swayz as that's cleaned up by Lith. The flag is there in the connector as Lolleey sort of falls back as well. A good trade for him. 3 members of Divine Mind go down, so this could be the perfect opportunity for Kitbash to make a flag run. It looks like that's exactly what Dxvinity is doing now. Being the objective maestro himself, Kitbash goes up 1 flag on CTF Aquarius.
I mean, that was a ballroom blitz, wasn't it? They were just going at it for so long. But Kitbash, the first one, to slam a flag into the podium, and they're up 1-0. And that clock is starting to run out. And look at this. Dxvinity, he just runs straight through, and another flag's moving. Gets it clean through the util, juggling his life away, moving this around. Kitbash!
A 4-dead clean sweep means the boys of Kitbash can make the cleanest run possible. They have the backup. 2 members of Divine Mind go down. Dxvinity captures a 2nd flag. The Kitbash boys up 2 now.
Up 2-0. Can they do it, Bluey? We are starting to believe the wildcard players, and they're really heating up. But we are with Plasma for Divine Mind. They're not out of this just yet. There's plenty of slaying power on this squad. They've just got to start getting things moving. But Kitbash, every time they get an opportunity, 4 dead, boom, flags on the move.
It looks like just as that happened, Divine Mind made an absolutely blazingly clean run through car side, picking up a flag cap. Score is now 2-1, still in the favor of Kitbash. Look at this though. Plasma already just doubling back, going immediately into their flag, securing as much positioning as possible. They take out Scoob, 3 members of Kitbash down. This is looking grim.
It's a very grim situation, and Rated with that camo as well, you can tell his job is to just look for those spawners, apply pressure so he can get the flag moving. He does get taken down and called out, but Plasma's already in there util with that flag. Plenty of teammates there to back him up as well. The Kitbash pressure is coming, and the flag, the grenade comes in for the Dxvinity to shut them down. Pipz doing what he can, but it looks like Kitbash are getting the return. Scoob's running the flag,
Kitbash making a solid return as well. Scoob doing what KBM players do best, running that flag. The members of Kitbash need to get on this flag right now. It's Dxvinity once again grabbing the flag. It is so close. Lith with the capture. The boys up 3-1 against DM.
I mean, Divine Mind, they were saying 3-0, 3-0, but they're in a little bit of trouble here, Blue. They're already down 1 map, and Kitbash looking so hot. Some desperation starting to, settle in for Divine Mind, maybe?
Swayz with the initial flag run, followed up by Rated. Swayz got shut down right quick as the boys from Kitbash want to make sure they don't get this flag very far. Once again, we are seeing the nades come out. A quick shutdown from, once again, the tag team duo, Dxvinity and Lith, trying to get on that flag as much as possible. Plasma is going to have to fend for his life here as Lith gets the melee. Lolleey with the follow-up. We see a flag return. 2 members of Divine Mind down, giving the boys of Kitbash a bit of breathing room to get into their base.
Yeah, and Lith just shutting down Pipz there as well. There's only 2 minutes left on the clock, Blue, and they're 2 flags up. Divine Mind are quickly running out of time. They can make it happen, but I mean, time is a factor. It takes a while to juggle that flag across the map.
Dxvinity right now, I don't know where this magic came from, but every play that I am seeing him do is just perfect. It's exactly what he needs to be doing in the moment. Even if it's just getting those nades off in the distance, it's working out so perfectly for them. Once again, Kitbash take down 3 members of Divine Mind. There is so little time for DM to be able to work with right now. 1 minute 40 on the clock. 2 flag caps they need to make up for it. Can they do it?
Double kill for Lolleey. These boys, 25 and 15 for Lolleey. He's heating up. Raider goes down as well. 1:30 left on the clock. Kitbash, they've got to keep that pressure and that aggression up if they want to lock this game down. Pipz juggling that flag across. He's doing everything that he can, but he's flashing shields in. He's very big trouble. He's getting called out. He's through the util. Here comes the cleanup grenades. Kitbash, they're not losing this one, Bluey. They want to get this map in the bag.
Pipz absolutely one-shot for the longest time. We see the cross-map nades coming out from, once again, Dxvinity and Lith. They're making a push for this flag, but this flag looks like it's so well guarded, and the clean slide through flag pull comes in. Now Divine Mind have a bit of work ahead of them. They have to return this flag before they can cap their own. Lolleey and Scoob shut down 2 members of DM. Make that 3 as they pull the flag once again.
40 seconds left on the clock. That was just perfect CTF there. Throwing the bait flag out and buying themselves time. Scoob just throwing that flag out. 30 seconds left on the clock. 3-1 in favor of Kitbash right now. Divine Mind, they're in very big trouble. Kitbash poised to take out this map, Bluey.
3 members of Kitbash down right now. 30 seconds isn't a lot of time for Divine Mind to make massive plays, but they can do it. They are the star-studded team that we are watching here today. But with the shutdowns that Kitbash have been making, just like that, Swayz goes down, but Pipz is on the back line as well. Scoob coming up on a 1v1. The trade goes out. 4 down for Kitbash. You're going to want to hope that on spawn they have a play in mind. That being said, that's it! Kitbash, another map! CTF Aquarius! Who would have thought?
We're going to game 5, Bluey. The Wildcats are underdogs. They're out of their kennel. They're running rampant. The crowd's getting rowdy. Divine Mind, they're a little bit quiet.
Kitbash are looking over the other side of the stage, glaring at them, knowing that in their heart of hearts they're saying, DM, what are you doing, boys? You shouldn't be letting us take these games off of you. But that being said, all to the Kitbash boys, baby. They are playing out of their skins right now.
Oh, mate, this is what we saw when they went up against Immunity. They just caught fire, made things happen, and closed out the series. And now they're 1 map away from taking this.
I mean, who'd have thought that this would be the Map 5 game, right, Justin? Like, incredible. It took a little bit longer than probably what the Kitbash boys would have wanted to get the gears turning, but now it just seems in full effect. That wasn't just a win from Kitbash on CTF Aquarius. That was a decisive win. That was a slaughtering of the macro level. Every single flag just seemed to be in their control.
They just clutched up every single time, didn't they? And it's like, just when you thought Divine Mind's like, oh yeah, they're about to slap a flag in, they just slide in, they clean up the kills, they get the return. They just played that perfectly. That was some great Halo.
Absolutely fantastic Halo, and it's what you love to see, you know, harkening back, just as you said before, this Aquarius CTF is that classic Halo style that so many people, you know, love to watch, and it was just put on full display. And you would think this team like Kitbash might falter a little bit at the wayside when it comes to playing a map like that, but
that play
everything they had, the slides, the timing, they knew exactly what they were doing at every play.
That bait flag there at the end, I was hoping they'd do something like that to run down the clock. And it was just perfect, just, you know, sliding in and just lobs it out in the open court. And the Divine Mind's like, return the flag, return the flag, return the flag. And they're all piling in, and then the boys came up and cleaned them in. That was just fantastic.
So now it is 2-2. We're going to game 5. That being said, Divine Mind, again, they are the Titans in this matchup. They have been here before, and they don't want to lose this. Justin, do you think now is the time we're going to see Swayz Unchained?
I mean, maybe. I mean, we're really hyping up Kitbash right now. They're the underdogs, but that is Divine Mind that's sitting over there.
Yes.
That's the #1 seed. They've proven time and time again that they can step up to the plate and close things out. Yeah, their back's up against the wall, so I think it's more so of how do they shut down the Kitbash boys? They've got to get in their heads like they were earlier. I mean, Pipz stopped shooting bodies and all of a sudden they start losing maps. I mean, maybe that's the key.
If that's not a sign that, yeah, they're a little bit shaken up right now, I don't know what is. You know, looking at the cameras right now, I love the looks that Lolleey is just giving across stage. Like right now on the Divine Mind roster, those are his former teammates that he's played with before and done incredibly well with. As Momentum was saying before, sort of analysing these two teams, it is a bit of a grudge match. You know, he's facing off his former partners that are just kind of gone from him now. Obviously, they're not on the same team, and he's in this crew that he knows, Lolleey knows he can perform. We just saw it in that game again, and going into this game 5, they've got a statement to make. They have something to prove.
Something incredible about that game, other than the plays, was that they were performing in the kills department as well. They weren't outslayed. Plenty of those players were heavily positive, and
how many times Divine Mind has sort of gone up against these teams that are a bit of an underdog or classified as more of a mid-tier team, and they just sweep them. Statistically, it is all in Divine Mind's favor, but that's not what we're seeing right now. Even if stats-wise, we're seeing someone like Swayz just absolutely build these blocks over and over again, an incredible KD, Kitbash aren't worried about that. They're not getting shaken by it. They're just ignoring it and just playing good Halo.
They're certainly very focused on that flag as well. Their timing was just impeccable so often there. But moving into this final map, I mean, I think the key is, will Divine Mind just brush off the dirt a little bit, pull up the old bootstraps and close out the series, or will Kitbash maintain that momentum through, Bluey?
I would definitely imagine there are some talks happening between the Divine Mind members right now, but we are Game 5, Divine Mind and Kitbash. Who'd have thought we'd be here, ladies and gentlemen? It is a tough battle ahead for the members of Kitbash as we are on Slayer for Recharge. Lots of tools, tricks of the trade for the members of Divine Mind that are so accustomed to on this map. It's going to be tough.
You know what? It's kind of slow a little bit as well. I mean, Divine Mind maybe just playing things a little bit more cautiously. Lith firing up already. 3-2. Very early days so far, Bluey. But I mean, Kitbash, they're at an all-time high. They're vibing.
These duo plays that Kitbash are doing, just these rotations, having two players back-to-back all the time. It's Lith and Scoob looking elevator right now, trying to get as much damage as they can. Lith loses Scoob, tries to double down, but gets chased. The Cure gets secured. Scoobmeistr 3-1 right now. Lots of damage going back and forth. It is in the hands of Kitbash at the moment, but only by 1 point. And there are some massive factors on Recharge that can just blow out that scoreline. I was going to mention the shock rifle, but Lolleey is the one who has it in his hands. Very capable hands indeed.
Wow, and I love that. Rated was trying to be patient, but it doesn't matter how patient you are. You go up into 3-1, you're going down in that situation. Now Lolleey with that shock rifle trying to connect. The team collapse does come through. Lolleey trying to connect there and does get a kill. And just fresh mag into that shock rifle. They're up 2 kills currently, Bluey.
It's 4.
Another Pipz
2
shutting down. Now, good opportunity for Divine Mind. They struggled the last game a little bit, but now with that shock rifle in the hands of Pipz, all eyes on him.
It's a very dangerous game that they're playing, though, because just how quickly that was, Divine Mind could just make up those kills so fast. Once again, only one ahead. They had a bit of a lead. They could have held on to it. They had the shock rifle in place for them as well, but it was just Divine Mind's just overbearing presence in both Rated and Plasma that we're seeing right now that was the difference maker.
Yeah, and Rated gets that camo pretty uncontested. Scoob caught a little bit out in the open there. You can't be doing that in a Game 5 situation. Pink missed warning. I just saw that needler.
They've got to be aware of Rated right now as he has camo, being able to flank these players, gets a melee in, Lith falls to it. Unfortunately, the call has been made. Scoob gets a grenade, making him one shot, but the repulse play, getting him out of harm's way, is massive for Rated. Camo has burnt all but up now. 3 members of Divine Mind go down. Rated is the last one alive, and you got to wonder, was there a collapse needed for Rated as 3 members once again down for DM?
Yeah, and Lolleey once again with that shock rifle, not able to connect, but they're hanging in there. We're going to get a 40-49. I can feel it, Bluey. The boys heating up. Does connect a little bit with the body, not able to secure the headshot. He's got Scoob there on his left flank to help him out there. And look, they're just fishing for picks right now. They need one of those picks so they can get a collapse moving.
I agree, Justin. It definitely seems like this is going to be a long-haul match, but both teams are just playing so cautiously with each other right now, just making sure that they're not giving up enough space. They're trying to follow up on the damage as much as possible. We are seeing things go in DM's favor a little bit more than I think what any of these members would like, and that is a Plasma back smack for Plasma, double kill to his name.
Yeah, I think he threw out a stick there as well, Blue, and that's where the double kill arose from. 23-19 in favor of Divine Mind, but as you know, Slayer games, they don't really start picking up until about that 30 kill mark. So Kitbash, they're keeping up currently, but what happens when you cross that 30 kill precipice?
Lolleey so close to securing himself a Mind the Gap on Plasma there. Seems like there are too many players that Kitbash have to shut down. Dxvinity gets himself a kill, trades the melee. Lith secures that as well. 3 kills the difference. DM 26 to 23.
And look at this, Lith launched off the map. I hope you can swim, buddy, or bring a life jacket. Now, again with Lolleey, he seems to be one of the star players on Kitbash, showing up for his squad. Plasma doing incredibly well himself. 8 and 5 currently, and that's been the difference maker. There's only 3 kills the difference, going 1v2 currently. There's the third player. A lovely collapse. The Kitbash boys always got their backs.
Shock rifle in the hands of a very dangerous man, especially at this point in time in Pipz. Looking at those angles right now, sending a shot at top control. Not quite connecting with it there, but we see 2 more members of Kitbash trying to make a flank. Looking up top glass as Lolleey's managed to sneak his way into gold stairs, but he gets his head taken off by Pipz himself. Another one for Pipz double. Connects the third shot, but it isn't a headshot and gets taken out himself.
Yeah, listen, I was feeling that triple kill there, Blue. My heart was fluttering a little bit. I was getting a bit excited. Now, with Rated moving through, he's 7 and 6 right now, but a boatload of assists for him as well, just putting in damage. And I think it's the last couple of camos that he's managed to pick up for himself. And look at that Hail Mary across the map there, Rated. Just perfect nade placement.
Walshy would be proud of you right now, Rated, with a beautiful kill like that as the collapse comes into top control. Couple of trades not going in the favor of Divine Mind though. 4 kills the difference right now for Divine Mind, 34 to 30. Still plenty of room, still plenty of time for Kitbash to make up for these kills.
Yeah, it's 4 kills the difference. Anybody's game at this point on board with Dxvinity moving through the red pipes. He finds himself one, sees a couple of Divine Mind players there. He just backs out. He's like, no, I cannot give up that death.
Yeah, that was a very smart back out from him, and he had the team supporting his back as well. Div just trying to play for his life. We're seeing Swayz, though, in the background pick himself 2 kills. It was Lolleey and Scoob caught by the wayside. Seems to be a bit of a gold pipes hold right now from the members of Divine Mind, and they're going to want to make sure that they can shut down this as quickly as possible. The members of Kitbash, that is, because otherwise they're going to be stuck in a very, very dangerous position.
Yeah, Kitbash, they're currently trailing by 7. Gets caught out by Pipz there with the shock rifle. Now, again, with Rated, watching his teammates back there on gold. The nades are coming in, and Rated, he just seems to be a turret this game. Puts himself in a good position and puts damage down on the map.
Bit of a do-si-do as we can see that both teams have actually swapped the positions that they previously held. Now we see the members of Kitbash taking that top gold hold. Lith jiggle peeking right now, getting as much damage as possible. Surely the call that Rated has snuck into gold comes out. Sorry, Swayz, my bad, and he does get picked off. Lolleey with the confident slide in as he gets a bit of damage out, but he's got Rated to have to take down, and Lolleey gets a stick on him as well. 5 kills the difference as DM is up 39 to 34.
Those little sticks right there, Bluey, sometimes that's a difference maker to bring the momentum in your favor. Nice little trade with Lith there, challenging Pipz, who had that power weapon. Now with Dxvinity, we've seen him show up time and time again, watching his teammates back. Is caught unaware a little bit, scurries away, valuing his life, waiting for the teammates to come help him out. He's just making sure that he's giving up as little deaths as possible. Plasma coming with the collapse on the B. Ben taking him out there.
7 kills left for Divine Mind to be able to wrap up this series and unfortunately shut down the boys from Kitbash after all this hard work.
Triple kill for Pipz!
Has now picked up a triple. The overkill is so close in sight, but he doesn't manage to get it as Dxvinity jumps out as quickly as possible, making sure that Pipz was shut down before we could see that overkill medal in place. Swayz right now playing around bottom Mangler. The plasma grenades get shot out from underneath his feet. A very weak boy right now needs to run away as all the members, well not all, sorry, most of the members of Divine Mind are now locked in top elevator.
I mean, Kitbash, they're in a really tough position right now. Divine Mind, they're only 2 kills away from taking out this series. And Pipz, with that shock rifle, he goes down 48 to 41. Can Kitbash do it? Divine Mind's #1 seed against the underdogs, all the way in a Game 5 situation. And we're pushing down, all the way down to the wire. Still 2 kills the difference. Kitbash, they're closing the gap, Bluey.
Kitbash needs to put in right now. They need to make the call. Lolleey needs to make out for his life. Only one kill left for Divine Mind to have to secure, and it places Kitbash in a very precarious situation. They're going to have to play this one slow. They need to play for individual picks as much as possible. And when the shock rifle is in the hands of Kitbash, a miracle can happen. Something can be done. We're seeing a short collapse come out from the members of Kitbash right now as they're looking to circulate from top elevator. The game has slowed down to a snail's pace, but it is so dangerous right now what the members need to do. Dxvinity just peeking a little too much.
That was bold.
Absolutely one shot right now, nearly taking off the head, but Swayz gets taken down in the background. 6 kills left to go for Kitbash to be able to take this series from Divine Mind. A remote detonation from Scoobmeistr puts them ever closer as they eke in 1 inch more. They know all the players
Dxvinity
are
with another
located in here, in Hydro. They need to make smart
49-47.
Div is popping off. 3 more kills for the members of Kitbash. Make
49-48.
Scoob pushing in confidently. The Malik they trade, and that's it. DM taken from Kitbash at the end. Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Oh my God, Kitbash! They almost had it. It was in their hands. They were holding it, but it just flew away. Divine Mind able to clutch things up to close things out, and they came 5 all the way down to the wire, Bluey. Oh my God.
I'm gonna pass out. Cut the VOD, I'm gonna pass out. My God, what just happened? Give it up for Kitbash, ladies and gentlemen. What a game they put up for us as they faced off ever so confidently against the #1 seeded team in ANZ. Kitbash once more. Well done to Divine Mind. They are the Titans. They are the Lords. And unfortunately for now, Kitbash are the Fallen. But as Momentum said, and I want to counteract him once more, it wasn't all for naught. They're not going to regret it, ladies and gentlemen. They have plenty from the day to come out with.
Listen, I mean, Kitbash, come on. 50-49 Game 5 situation. I hope the crowd's happy because I certainly am. What a series that was. And Divine Mind, maybe some kinks in the armor, or what I think, Bluey, is that Kitbash is just a monstrous team that is getting underestimated.
There is something in the Kitbash boys that I can't quite pinpoint. We tried over and over again to explain it through words, but it's just like a magic. Even when all was down or nothing, Div, time after time, was popping up on the boards, headshot after headshot with that shock rifle, just inching the score ever closer. It came down to the wire, and it's just not what anyone would have expected in this scenario.
It was just crazy, and you know that their communication would have been on point. It was like 48-39 or something, and you know that it's like, do not peek, do not give up a death. Just wait for them to grab a peek with that shock rifle, and they just did it time and time again. And Scoob just watching those nade respawns to that remote detonation.
Oh my God.
That was a bit cheeky, wasn't it?
How he knew, and it's those plays that the boys from Kitbash just keep making. Oh, and there it is, the heartbreaking, little finisher there. It's
doing really well to close that out with that
absolutely.
trade.
Working so well under the pressure in that situation. But again, Kitbash are just making these plays time and time again. Just so strong, so beautiful. And as heartbreaking as that was for us to watch, it must have been beautiful for the members of Divine Mind to win. And of course, we have Nat being able to read that for us. So let's throw it over to her for an interview with the man, the myth, the legend, Pipz.